So when we're talking about problems that some of our dogs can have when they come into a new environment, destructive behaviors is a common one that we see. Oftentimes this is related to poor management in the home from the beginning, like the dog hasn't learned the rules. We've seen people that have adopted a dog when they've gotten home from work and just thrown it in their house and went to dinner. And then they've come home and the house is destroyed. And they go, I don't understand why this happened. So a lot of this, some of this type of behavior can be very preventable from the beginning if we just give our dogs some time and we stay with our dogs and we manage our dogs for those for that first little while when we adopt our dogs and bring them into our home. They don't understand the rules of their home. We don't know what the rules were in their previous home, or if they had rules, or where they had stayed or whatever. So they don't know that our rules are different. You're not allowed to chew on my couch, or you're not allowed to chew up my furniture legs. So a lot of this kind of goes into some management. A couple of things that the dogs really need. One is they need something to do with their mouths. Dogs have to chew on something. They just have to. So we want to make sure that we occupy their mouths. Every dog has a different amount of energy, and every dog has a different way of releasing that energy. But the majority of dogs do like to chew on things. So we want to make sure that we're giving them the opportunity to chew on the right things, and we're managing the dog so they're not chewing on the wrong things, and learning that those things can be fun to chew on as well. For me, a lot of it goes into, like in the house, I want to have a couple of toys for my dog that my dog can play with by himself. So anything that I play with, like a tug toy or a frisbee or a tennis ball, that kind of stuff is things that my dog interacts with me with. We go out, we play tug. We go out, we play frisbee. We go out, we play fetch. And those are games that my dog interacts with me with. So I don't leave those kind of toys out for my dog. Those kind of toys come out when it's time for me to play with the dog and us to interact. So those toys are always put away unless we're playing with them. And then I have a few other toys that the dog can interact with himself. So there are plenty of toys that you can stuff food in, you can do different things that the dog can really kind of entertain themselves with. I put those toys out on the floor, and usually what I try to do is have people rotate those toys. So they might have 3 toys out at any given time, and maybe a few days in, they take those toys away and they put down 3 different toys. And then later they'll rotate those old toys back out. But the point is that we want those toys to always be new. You can see dogs all the time where they have a bucket load of toys hanging out in the house, and the dog walks past them every day and he's looking for something new to do. And it's just because dogs get bored very easy. So we want to make sure that we keep that dog entertained. So rotating the toys is a big one to help keep the dogs entertained. Hanging out with the dog in the house and allowing the dog to make those mistakes. So if I'm hanging out in the house watching TV or whatever, and I see my dog starting to look for something to do, he wants to he's sniffing around, he's getting excited, he's got his energy, he's doing the little zoomies around the house or something. This is my opportunity to redirect the dog. I say, hey buddy, here's a toy, and I throw that on the floor. So one of the biggest problems that I see when it comes to working on some of these behaviors, like digging and potty training, is when we tell people you want to interrupt the behavior, we just mean interrupt it. Clap your hands, make a little noise, get the dog's attention away from whatever he's doing, whether that's pottying on the floor or chewing on something he's not supposed to. We want to interrupt the behavior. Oftentimes people get very emotional about this and they yell at the dog, right? Or they punish the dog. And most of the time the dog doesn't associate its behavior with that punishment. What they do is they associate you with that behavior. So they say, I'm not going to chew on the couch when you're around, because you get after me, but when you're not around, like, life is good, right? So, or the same thing happens with potty training, and we end up having a bigger problem because now we have a dog that's doing these behaviors and we can't catch them to interrupt them and teach them the right behavior. So the biggest thing is try to keep the emotion out of it. The dog starts doing something we don't want him to do, chewing on something we don't want him to chew on, interrupt the behavior. Make some noise, clap your hands, whatever. The dog stops doing the behavior, and we show the dog the proper behavior that we want it to do. Same thing happens with potty training. The dog starts to go potty, I go, hey, hey, hey. He stops, I go, let's go outside, and we go outside and we go potty in the right area. So we just want to make sure that we interrupt those behaviors we don't scare the pants off the dog when we're trying to show the dog the right thing. You know, a lot of this is guidance and management. So, you know, in management, it's not, you know, hey, I'm gonna punish you because you did something wrong. The dog doesn't know he's doing something wrong. The dog is just doing something that dogs do, and we want to interrupt the dog and redirect the dog and show the dog the proper things that we want them to do. So when it comes to chewing and destructive behaviors, the majority of those are just because the dog is bored. Dogs have a lot of energy. They have a lot more energy than we have. A lot of these guys were bred to work longer than we could. So we want to make sure that, you know, it would be impossible for us to go out and walk the dog enough to make the dogs, for most dogs, to make them tired enough to where they feel pretty satisfied throughout the day. So we want to make sure that we're giving the dogs a place for those energies. We're taking them out for walks, we're playing fetch with them, we're playing games with them, and then we're giving them things to do when we're not able to provide that stuff. We're giving them something to chew on, we're giving them something to do. So most of the time, this is what really helps with preventing any chewing behaviors and oftentimes stopping chewing behaviors. When we get our dog into our home, we want to just redirect the dog and show the dog the correct things to do to help manage that behavior and prevent him from chewing on things. If we have a dog that's already learned how to chew on some table legs and things like that, and he thinks that's a fun game, we really have to watch him and manage that behavior. You can do some things to help make those things less attractive to the dog, like using, they have lots of different kinds of sprays. Every dog's different. Some dogs don't care about the spray. If he doesn't care about the spray, you got to try a different brand. And we want to just kind of make the access to those things unavailable and give him the good things that we want him to do, make those more available.